Breaking news into CNN. Steve Bannon, the former President Trump's senior advisor, has now appeared at the FBI field office here in the District of Columbia to turn himself in. This following his indictment on 2 counts of contempt of Congress. This is just moments ago, and there you see him arriving at the FBI field office following this indictment. Let's watch these pictures as it happens.
Any comment? Any thoughts, Mr. Bannon? Sir, Mr. Bannon, any comment on this?
Excuse me.
How are you feeling today, Mr. Bannon? Mr. Bannon, what are your plans now ahead of this?
They do. Everybody go back. Get back.
Mr. Bannon, to the unity. Whoa.
Why is bringing them together right now? Everybody wants to be here tonight. I want everybody to be
You see Steve Bannon there making comments. Difficult to hear those comments given there's a scrum of photographers between us and the president's former chief strategist. Now he's walking into the FBI field office. I believe we have Renato Mariotti, former federal prosecutor, with us now. Renato, can you walk us through what happens next?
Sure. So he's inside. He's going to be asked a bunch of routine booking questions. He can't take the fifth. He has to answer those. They're going to be routine things, asking questions about his where he lives, his background, who he, that sort of thing. Just basic stuff that they get down. They're going to generally be fingerprinting him. There can be a mandatory DNA swab. Things like that, so that once that all happens, then he will be proceeding later today to the U.S. District Court. And once he's there, a judge is going to be essentially reading him his rights and telling him what he's facing. The prosecutor is going to tell him the maximum punishment, and she's going to advise him, for example, the judge, as to whether or not he should not speak to the government without an attorney, that sort of thing.
And Whitney Wild is at the district court. So Whitney, this indictment includes 2 counts of contempt. Walk us through those 2 counts, if you would. Whitney may not be able to hear us right now, so we're going to work on that audio. So Renato, as we look at these 2 counts, refusal to appear for a deposition, also refusal to produce documents, that's what we're working with here. You noted to us earlier this morning, one of the things that really stood out to you is a change in attorneys for Steve Bannon. Why is that important?
Well, Steve Bannon, one of, I think, the best defenses for him is going to be what's called an advice of counsel defense. It's rarely asserted because usually attorneys aren't advising people to do things that later are indictable for criminal activity. But here, I could see the attorney taking the stand and saying, yes, I advised Steve Bannon that he should not comply with the subpoena. And as long as Steve Bannon can demonstrate to the jury or convince the jury that he relied on good faith on the attorney's advice, that is a defense. And so you have to waive attorney-client privilege, but that is something that is viable, which means, of course, that he needs a new attorney to do that.
Renato, over what time period does this now play out as the judge considers? Are we talking days? Are we talking weeks?
Oh, it's going to be weeks, months. So what's going to happen, for example, is the indictment's going to be presented to him today, but then there's going to be discovery that's going to be produced to Mr. Bannon. There'll be a schedule for motions to be filed where he could challenge certain aspects of the indictment of the prosecution. Once the judge rules on those motions, which could take some time, they would set a trial date. Right now, the courts are very backed up. I have clients that are waiting for years for their criminal trials. So I think as a practical matter, this is going to play out over an extended period of time.
Hurry up and wait.